Sebel stumbled into the clearing, breath ragged, suit scorched, and claw-marked. The swarm had stopped following her, at least for now. Ahead, the cave entrance flickered with orange light. "Steve," she cried. He appeared at the cave mouth. Rifle in hand, the fire behind him casting tall shadows across the jagged walls. When he saw her, his shoulders dropped in relief. "Sebel," he shouted, rushing forward. She collapsed into his arms, trembling, breathless. They almost got me," she said between gasps. He held her tightly, his voice low. "You're okay. You made it." The two of them sank by the fire, the glow washing over their scratched suits. For a moment, neither spoke. The adrenaline was fading, replaced by a fragile calm. "We'll stay here till morning," Steve said finally. "The fire should keep them away." Sebel nodded, too exhausted to argue. She leaned against the cave wall, eyes half closed, the warmth of the flames lulling her into a fragile sense of safety. But it didn't last. A faint rustle echoed deeper within the cave. Then another. Then dozens. Steve straightened, frowning. "You hear that?" Before Sebel could answer, the shadows on the far wall began to move. Shapes detached from the darkness, wings, claws, and burning orange eyes. "Oh no," Sebel whispered. The cave wasn't empty. It was their nest. With a sudden, deafening shriek, the first of the bat-like creatures dived at them, talons flashing. Steve fired. The shot lit up the cave in white-blue light. The creature exploded in a burst of flame and feathers. But more followed. "Behind you," Sebel shouted. He turned, firing again and again. The air filled with the smell of burning flesh and ozone. But the swarm kept coming, screaming and slashing. They weren't afraid of the fire. They hated it. "They're protecting the nest." Sebel yelled over the chaos. "I'm out," Steve snapped, tossing his empty rifle aside. In one motion, he drew his combat knife and lashed it to the rifle's barrel with a strip of torn belt. "Guess we're doing this the old-fashioned way." The next creature lunged. He drove the blade through its chest, pinning it to the cave floor. Another swooped from above. He rolled, slashing upward, the blade cutting deep. Sebel fought beside him, swinging a burning log like a club. Sparks rained through the cave as the fire dwindled. "Steve," she cried, "the fire's dying. I see it." He looked toward the cave mouth and saw it, a narrow crevasse running along the outer wall, half hidden in shadow. It was barely wide enough for one person. "Sebel," he shouted, pointing. "Get in there. Now. I'm not leaving you." "Go," he barked, eyes blazing. "That's an order." Reluctantly, she dove for the crevasse, scrambling inside. Steve turned to face the onslaught. The creatures came in waves now, shrieking, clawing, tearing. His suit alarms blared, integrity critical. Breach in progress. Blood ran down his arm, hot and sticky inside his glove. He swung wildly, driving the blade into one creature's neck, kicking another back into the flames. His breath came in ragged bursts. "Come on," he roared, stabbing, swinging, blocking. "Come and get it." But exhaustion set in. The world swam in and out of focus. His legs gave way. One last creature lunged, and then everything went black. Sebel screamed his name and crawled out from the crevasse. The cave was littered with charred bodies. The air was thick with the stench of blood and smoke. "Steve," she cried, dropping beside him. He was still, face pale, his suit torn open at the shoulder. She pressed her gloved hand to his chest. No rise, no pulse. "Come on, Steve," she whispered. "Don't do this. Don't you dare." Nothing. Her strength gave out. She collapsed beside him, her helmet touching his. Outside, the first light of dawn crept into the cave, turning the walls pale gold. Sybil closed her eyes, a single tear tracing down her cheek inside the visor. The cave fell silent. Only the distant hum of the red giant's winds broke the stillness, and the faint flicker of the dying fire beside two explorers. Alone on a faraway world,